Yo, yo, yo. Wow. Everything went pitch black. Ah! Sorry about that. It is the Ant-Man channel, though. And it is Thursday, the 5th of June, 2014, and I'm your host. I got an article in front of me from W&D Diversions. Theaters fill for return to the hiding place. Story of Corey Ten Boom's brave resistance to tyranny hits top 5. This is by Drew Zahn. Kelly Grayson of Return to the Hiding Place. She's an actress that is going to be playing in this, I guess. I guess this is a remake of a famous Christian movie. And it's packing audiences, or it's packing theaters. But let's see what this is all about. When it comes to movies, I'm really behind culturally, man. I don't go to movies. I don't even remember what the last movie I saw was in the theaters. I like to go on Netflix, though. I like to watch movies, don't get me wrong. I love movies and I love theater and stuff. I used to be into that kind of stuff. I'm not too shabby, I think, myself at acting. I wouldn't say I'm anywhere near Daniel Day-Lewis, but you know what I mean? I like those type. I like theater and drama and just anything that has to do with choir or singing and stuff like that. So I could appreciate art in these ways, you know? I'm not saying don't appreciate movies, but be careful what you watch these days because like it says in the Bible, whatever is noble, whatever is faithful or trustworthy, and all these good things, these things put your mind toward. With that said, I just had something prompted to me to tell you about right now, and that is that sometimes, and this I'm even talking to myself here, you guys. I'm not lecturing you. I'm lecturing myself as well right now. And what I'm about to say is very key to the Christian faith. When you start watching the news and when you start paying attention to current events and it starts to make you worry, or it starts to make you angry, or it starts to make you think that these problems are so big that it gets your attention away from who is greater than the world, the one that is in you is much greater than the one that is in the world, then you need to turn away from these things because they really do hurt you. And you're supposed to be focused. And a good example is the best example of all time, Jesus Christ. Whenever he felt overwhelmed by the world and all of the needs people had, and it hurt him. It hurt him to see the world in such bad shape that he had to go to be by himself to pray. Because he knew who his father was. He knew that he needed to have that presence of God be in him, and not have to worry so much about the world. You know what I mean? And this is key for all of us. All of us need to know this because the devil will get you to be deceived, and once you're deceived, you're gonna start to do the things that condemn you, and that's the thing that you can't get into because I know a lot of Christians that. They'll let people hurt them and then they will act just like them to try to get revenge or try to act more proud or try to act more angry or try to show that I have more wrath. But these things that's what being deceived is, because do not be deceived. No slanderer will inherit the kingdom of God. You need to guard your heart and guard your mind. So with that said, I'm going to read this article. When Billy Graham's Worldwide Pictures released The Hiding Place in 1975, it gave audiences not only the Golden Globe-nominated true story of Corrie Ten Boom's brave resistance of Nazi occupation in her native Netherlands, but also a movie many consider one of the greatest faith films of all time. Now, nearly 40 years later, audiences are flocking to Return to the Hiding Place, a second film made about Ten Boom's efforts to hide and aid both Jewish refugees and Dutch resistance fighters in World War II. But this is no Hollywood-generated sequel. As W&D reported, Return to the Hiding Place is based on Dutch student Hans Polly's true account of his days as a member of Ten Boom's secret army of untrained teenagers, navigating a labyrinth of challenges to rescue the Jewish people and playing a deadly game of cat and mouse with the Nazi Gestapo during one of the history's most famous dramas. In its limited opening right before Memorial Day, Return to the Hiding Place averaged 7 million, or is that 7,338.40 per theater, and this is dollars. So $7,338.40 per theater, a per screen average that ranked number 5 among all movies over the weekend. Add in Memorial Day itself, and BoxOfficeMojo.com reports the movie averaged $8,137 across its only 5 theaters, grossing $40,684 over the full 4-day weekend. By comparison, the $8,137 average was less than the new X-Men movie's debut and Godzilla in its second week, but well ahead of the weekend's only other wide release, the Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore's comedy Blended, which grossed only $4,989 per theater. You know, that's good that people are out there trying to like go and watch a movie that's wholesome. Because it's funny, because if you guys are a fan of Ray Comfort and you watch the show The Comfort Zone, somebody went out into the streets and was asking people if they think that Godzilla actually happened in real life. And there are actually people out there that believe that Godzilla, this gigantic lizard monster, this happened in real life. That's troubling. That's very troubling, you guys. Like, to think that people believe that a giant lizard attacked New York or something one time, that's ridiculous. That never happened. And then oh man. You know, God bless Brenton Sawen, who actually interviewed me not too long ago and took my testimony and all this, man. He really did make me realize something that, you know, with all this truth that I speak to you guys, I'm very harsh about it. I know that. I'm not catering to your emotions on this channel. I just want to tell you the truth. But he has a much better approach. And when I don't mean to get down on people that believe in Godzilla. If you believe in Godzilla, I guess you can believe in anything. But I mean, this is my thing, man. If you are easily offended, I'm not your favorite person. This isn't the channel for you. So I'm not trying to keep you here to make you watch my videos, but I'm not going to change. God made my personality the way it is for a reason. And I don't cater to your emotions, man. You need to get your emotions in check, if you ask me. If you're easily offended and you're easily angered and all these things, then that's your problem. That's not my problem. And I care about you. I'm not trying to say that I don't care about that you're hurt or you're wounded and all these things and that's really what it is, but I really do care about you, man. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but there are people out there that believe in Godzilla for crying out loud. This is this is crazy, all right? But that's all anyone ever talked about on Facebook was, oh, I saw Godzilla. I guess there were better movies to watch like this one. I would love to watch this movie, but I didn't even hear about it. I don't keep up with movies and stuff like that. Maybe I should, you know? But by comparison, the $8,137 average was less than the new X-Men movie. I just read that. Return to the Hiding Place was a labor of love for everyone involved, and we're thrilled to see the huge wave of support it received over the long Memorial Day weekend, said director and producer Peter Spencer. We had sold out screenings in various markets as well as strong word of mouth throughout. We couldn't be happier and looking forward to wider release plans for the film later in the year. The multi-award-winning movie stars John Rhys Davies, who starred in the Indiana Jones films and portrayed the dwarf Gimli in the Lord of the Rings movies. Craig Robert Young, NCIS LA, Hawaii Five-0, David Thomas Jenkins, CIS Miami, Bold and the Beautiful on CBS, Rachel Spencer Hewitt, Fly By Night, A Civil War Christmas, and Mimi Sagadin, The Dilemma. So all very well-known actors, right? Premiering to a sold-out screening at the 2014 Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah, Return to the Hiding Place has garnered several awards to date. The movie was selected as Best Feature Film at the Bel Air Film Festival, Central Florida Film Festival, San Antonio Christian Film Festival, and Life Fest Film Festival. In addition, it has also been recognized by Yad Vashem, Israel's official memorial to the Jewish victims of the Holocaust. Based on the true story taken from Poli's sorry. I should have bloopers, man, I swear. I stumble a lot over my words. The guy that invented the pencil and put the eraser at the end of it knew what he was doing. People make mistakes, okay, you guys? Don't be thinking you're perfect over there. Autobiographical. See, sometimes I see words that I don't really ever read in my whole life. Autobiographical book. Lord help me. The movie highlights themes of endurance, perseverance, and faith through Poli's experiences as a student resistance fighter during the Holocaust and World War II. Return to the Hiding Place depicts a great story with real historical characters brought to life and a stunning account of self-sacrifice for the greater good, says director Peter Spencer. It captures a moment in time that will impact society for generations to come. There's a trailer here if you guys want to see it. It is on WND.com under the column Distractions, but it is theaters feel for Return to the Hiding Place. A good wholesome movie to remind you guys that it is really crazy. The kind of stuff that has happened in history. And there are people that you can quote all day that, if you forget history, you're doomed to repeat it. You can tell that history is a big vital role in a lot of things. For the Christian, historical narrative in the Bible that coincides with secular theologians who have recorded history, secular historians and all these people that have recorded the same things. Like, you can't deny Caesar Augustus really was a Caesar. You can't deny that there were certain people that you can find their like these like really old hieroglyphs or carved images into like stone of Pilisner, I can't remember his name, but all the Babylonian kings that really lived that are talked about in the Bible. You cannot deny that all these people have been that they're obviously they lived. You know what I mean? You can't. Caesar Augustus called the census, and all of the Jewish people had to come and all that, and that's one of the main stories. That's the first time you ever hear Jesus talk in the Bible is when he's a kid and he says, "Don't you know that I'm about my Father's business?" That was because of Caesar Augustus calling a census to all of Israel, and dude, amazing, right? So if you deny Jesus, you deny historical facts. In my honest opinion, you're a slob. You don't do any research on your own. You're imagining fairy tales in your mind and that they don't really exist, but in reality there are ways to check these facts. But when you look at the Holocaust, man, it's a great reminder to you guys that there are bad people in the world and that you need to defend yourself from this, and going and hiding isn't going to do anything. Pretending that these things don't exist isn't going to help you stay away from this danger. You need to be a strong person and know that you need to accept the truth and then defend yourself from it. And if you're weak and you're cowardly and you're a wimp, then you need to work on that. Don't be such a don't believe in the lie that you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough to grow. Everybody has that ability to grow, and they have potential that's within you. You're made in the image of God, for crying out loud. You can be intelligent, powerful, creative, and loving. All these things are built into you, but you need to be shown the right way. You need to be trained up in this. So I'm just going to read one comment. This is by Mardabo. There is a new Holocaust coming again for God's people. This time it will target both Christians and Jews. Do not believe the pre-trib deception. And I agree with that. You accepted it because that's what you were taught. Read the scriptures for yourselves. Matthew 24, 2 Thessalonians 1, and 2 Thessalonians 2. Those are some of my favorite passages in the Bible. You will never find the pre-trib rapture in the Word of God. The rapture resurrection will be after the tribulation at the second coming of Christ, which precedes the battle of Armageddon. Prepare. God bless you, brothers. I am proud to say that I am the owner of an authorized King James Version Bible. This Bible right here is amazing. It is falling apart, as you can see, because I've read this whole entire thing. I started reading this at the book of Leviticus before I have ever read the Bible in my life. Don't ask me why I started at Leviticus. Quite possibly the most boring book in the entire Bible, but it's very important to read. The whole priesthood stuff is really good stuff to know. This one, on the other hand, is what I'm studying right now, and I can't tell you how bad I want to finish this already. I've already read it like 3 times, but I'm doing a whole like OSL like program with this one, and I will tell you straight up that the NIV has been tampered with. There are scriptures in there that have been added in, and there are scriptures in there that have been taken out. I will tell you straight up, I'm not one of those King James only people, but I will tell you the truth, that the NIV is tampered with. You guys, if you guys want to really read the Word of God, don't believe in the lie that the archaic old authorized King James Version is too hard for you to understand. It's not. It really does vibe with you. It connects with you. It's a good way to start reading the Bible. You'll get better at reading from reading that book. If you want to read a real Bible, get that one, or get the Geneva Bible from like 16 or 1599 or something. I don't know where. It's old. Let's just put it that way. That's an old Bible, the Geneva Bible, the one that the Puritans came when John Winthrop wrote the Mayflower Compact, and they came to the United States and settled here and all that. That's amazing stuff right there. That's the stuff that had given them the hope and the motivation, the inspiration to come here and flee away from the British tyranny that was going on in their day, to come here and settle and start a new country. The Bible's a powerful thing, you guys, and if you're not going to read it, you're never going to find out. You can't know the truth by hearing what other people have to say about this kind of stuff. You have to look at it for yourself. With that said, I hope you guys have a good day. God bless you.